sports update. Welcome back. You're on to High Sports. That takes place every Wednesday at exactly 6 p.m. over High Television. And yes, if you're just joining us, you haven't missed a lot because we are kickstarting the program now with a sports update. And we're going to talk about the corridors of the Southwest Benin Interpose that kick-started on Sunday, where we had for 2 games playing, where we have 2 teams that actually pick up a qualification ticket to the semi-finals, and that was Fako United and equally Best Stars Academy after defeating their opponent Al Jazeera, and equally Tico United, who has been ousted out of the competition. And straight away, let's talk about the first game of the day, or what transpired between the first day of play in terms of the Southwest Regional League Mini Interpose at the Moliko Omni Sports Stadium. It's no longer in Limbe, but this time around we decided to bring it out right up to your doors here at the Moliko Omni Sports Stadium. We have details of what transpired in terms of a Sunday that launched the Southwest Regional League Mini Interpose in the following report. Is over here at the Moliko Sports Stadium, where we witness the second game of the day in terms of the Mini Interpose, the Southwest Mini Interpose, where we witness an encounter between Elang Sports and Best Stars of Limbe. Just equally to reiterate that these are 2 clubs from the same town, which is a town of friendship, and meeting each other for the first time in this season. It's what many persons were anticipating, and equally to tell you that a team like Elang Sport topping its pool equally had not lost any game, but unfortunately Best Stars Academy decided to walk through past them, defeating them 2 goals to 0.
So, first of all, it was a local derby. All of us know ourselves. When we competing in, when we play friendly matches, you see during the beginning of the encounter, we started very slow with the tactical part, but at the second segment, we tried to check the strategy, and the strategy worked. So we are very happy for this.
Well, I'm very happy with the team, the performance, the game. Everything we did today was amazing. Last year we ended at the Mini Interpose at the knockout, so it was very bad for us. So today we needed to give our best because we are playing LS4 and it's a rival from our city, so we needed to give our best. So today is a very good game for us, and we are very happy. While to play a team that played the regional league without any defeat, to come to play them at the Mini Interpose first knockout is very difficult for us. They had the confidence, the momentum to play us because they look maybe we are small for them, so we needed to give our best to show that we are not afraid of them. So we needed to did what we did today.
We prepared the game too much. You know, a game like this, when you prepare it more than the way you are supposed to prepare, you give yourself self-pressure. I did not recognize my team today. We have never played like this. So I think we just have to regret our actions. So I also want to congratulate Besta. I think they came, they did not fear, they did not panic. They just respected us. I think that was their force.
Well, I think that first of all, I'm personally happy, and I must say that I am thanking those who were able to make it here at the Moliko Omi Sports Stadium, and also to thank the media men and women who were here to cover this great event. I must say that I'm satisfied with what I've seen, because we can all attest that with the quality of football we watched here today, those who won the game today were meritorious. They merited their victory, and I must say that we are here to support and accompany the national president of FECAFOOT in accomplishing his vision to make Cameroonian football great again.
Beautiful goals coming in from Mukete Jr. and Cosmas to giving a finishing in terms of this particular game. It was a come and see and goal and tell game, as you saw thousands of fans, football lovers in the Southwest region who came in their numbers to equally look into this particular game. Remember, Tuesday is another debut in terms of the mini Interpost, where we are going to be having big names like Buea United, Tico United, Kumba City, and a host of others as the week continues. Bye-bye for now. Welcome back. And yesterday was match day 2 of the quarterfinals for the Southwest Regional League Mini Interpost, where 2 spots left. I'm waiting to see the 2 teams that are going to play against Bestas and Paco United. And yes, it was Legend and Buea United that picked up the qualification to join Paco United and Bestas. First of all, let's look at what transpired between the game for Legend in the following report.
With 2 spots to clinch a ticket for the Southwest Mini Interpost semi-finals. The first encounter of the day saw Tico United take on Legend FA. After much play and pressure on both sides, it was Brown Simid Keng Tata who disengaging the net in favor of the Samba boys of Tico United with his athletic kick. Henry B. Enos on goal in favor of Legend leveled the scores to 1-1 in the first 45 minutes of play. The second half saw both teams fighting for victory, as we saw them kicking the ball into the waiting hands of the goalkeeper, who played exceptionally well at the goal. However, it was Bertrand Taki who became the messiah of his club, as he scored the winning goal, taking the team to the semi-finals, leaving the scores at 2-1. Coach of Tico United, they played against a good side and luck wasn't on their side. Of Legend, he is very happy and will prepare to go as far as the national Interpost. Game saw fans from Tico, Kumba and all over the Southwest to witness this particular encounter. However, Legend FA now joins Paco United FC and Bestas Academy, who have already clinched tickets for the semi-finals to be played on Thursday, June 27 at the Moliko Omi Sports Stadium.
Congratulations to Legend, and equally after 120 minutes of play, it was Bestas Academy that defeated Kumba City Football Club for the very first time to get to the semi-finals of the Mini Interpost. Congratulations to Agbo Emmanuel, aka Coach Albas, and let's get what transpired between the game in the following report.
What a game
today here at the Moliko Sports Stadium. 2 games, and the last one which just ended here, as you can see from my back, places are already dark to tell you how very controversial and interesting this particular game was. We're talking about 120 minutes of play for Boya United and Kumba City Football Club, with Boya United excelling to the semi-finals of the South Regional League Mini Interpost, where they decided to ride history by beating Kumba City. And equally to tell you that the boys of Coach Alabas are indeed greatly happy for this particular victory of today, as it gives them another opportunity to be able equally to get through the next round of this particular competition.
We are very happy because this is the first time for Boya United to cross the quarterfinal of the Mini Interpol. So I'm very happy to be the captain and carry the team to the semi-final. To just win this ball, to reach the semi-final, of the Mini Interpol.
The both coaches, it was a game to admire, a game to go back to the drawing board, especially for Kumba City, and a game for Boya United to be able to recorrect some of the mistakes that they did.
I'm still searching for words. But all I can say is thanks to God. God made it possible for us to be here today. God made it possible for my young lads to skate through. Football, you never know. It took me 5 years to create these children that we are seeing. I had a lot of good comments, bad comments, but I trust in the boys. And last year, the same club beat me in the quarterfinals, 120 minutes. Today, I had a chance to revenge. But in life, as I always tell my boys, you must not go to Interpol. You must not go to the final. Whenever you are playing in a club, look at the history of the club. Once you create an impact, they say one step ahead from your previous step is an achievement. Today, we have made an achievement. Today, we have made an achievement that going to the final doesn't matter for me. In the history of Boya United, this set of players, I will enlarge their picture. I will put it in my house. I will put it in my office, and I will give thanks and glory to God. Thank you.
Personne n'est jamais content de perdre, surtout qu'on sort de très loin, on a fait une saison exceptionnelle et on arrive ici comme ça. Je crois que je n'ai pas trop reconnu les gars, mais je peux pas également tirer sur ces gars, mais parce que j'ai eu l'impression qu'ils ont donné tout ce qu'ils avaient à donner. Je vais beaucoup plus féliciter l'état d'esprit de Boya United. Vraiment bravo à cette équipe qui s'est battue, qui a prouvé que ce n'est pas évident qu'une équipe se fait battre 2 fois. Je pense que la saison dernière, ils ont rencontré Kumba City en quart de finale. Kumba City les a enlevés. Je pense qu'ils sont venus avec un esprit extrêmement revanchard. Même s'ils perdent le prochain match, je pense qu'ils ont gagné leur compétition.
Despite this defeat from the Memel side, it was the president of Kumba City Football Club who instead appreciated the magnitude of the game that he witnessed today.
We'll differ with you. It's not a disappointing evening. It is a very, an utmost, an extreme, successful and joyous evening. And when I say that, I mean for the football of the Southwest region. You know, we promote the football of the Southwest region, and then of course we think about the football of Cameroon. What we have watched here today, I think we have watched 2 teams, 2 Elite 1 teams playing, coming from the regional league of the Southwest region. I want to congratulate, of course, first, the regional president, Mr. Ndaze, that we all know, before even moving over now to the president of Boya United, and of course to all the participants actually that have taken part in this competition. I think we've watched the finals today. Permit me say that. You know, it's the pre-final. We watched a game that I thought it is the European Nations Cup that we're actually watching now, which is ongoing. This was super football. So as the city mayor of course Kumba, and the president of Kumba City Football Club, I want to give my congratulations and of course express to you guys my utmost joy because we have won. The Southwest region has won. We have proven our worth. We have proven the football that we play. We have proven that we are actually the mothers and why not even also the father of football in Cameroon, and we are ready. Whatsoever team that leaves here going for the Interpols to represent us, I can assure you we're going to have another Elite 2 team to join Isosa in Elite 2 and of course also Opopo.
Clubs already, La Boya United, we're talking about Fako United, have already said through the Mini Interpost, which is coming up on Thursday. Who among the 4 teams left are going to pick up a ticket to the finals. And who among the two teams equally for those who were at the National Interpost last year, they will tell you that Bokanda Noon is a household name where last year they represented the West Region, and this time around beating Sabla the Betty with 1-0. It tells you that these boys have a lot to offer in terms of this particular National Interpost that will be coming up in the month of July. But nevertheless, we stay in the Southwest Region waiting will be crowned the 2023-2024 champions of the Southwest Regional League, and equally the representative for this particular region.
And that was what transpired in terms of that game against Kumba City, between Kumba City and Boya United yesterday at the Moliko Ome Sports Stadium to get Boya United a ticket to the semi-finals of the mini Interpost here in the Southwest region. And away from what transpired at the Moliko Ome Sports Stadium, let's go to the West region of Cameroon, where it is Bokang Dunoon that has qualified to the National Interpost. Remember that the West region was they started the regional league as the first region, and getting a representative is Bokang Dunoon, who was there last year and is coming back after defeating Sabro the Betty, who was closer to that particular position. Unfortunately for them, Bokang Dunoon used her superiority to get through and pass to the National Interpost. And we are still going to see what this particular West region side is going to deliver in terms of that have already fulfilled all the requirements that were some months back given by a CAF. And away from that, let's talk about the basket national team of Cameroon that is currently preparing for the Olympics over there in Yaoundé, as you can find on your screen, having training sessions to be able to tie the knots as they are going to be facing bigger countries like Nigeria, Kenya, and Nairobi. And away from that, let's talk about athletics, the athletics competition that is ongoing in Douala, where it's been a beautiful one despite several negativities and poor organization. Team Cameroon is struggling to strike a balance in terms of medals won, where it is a summit that has gotten to the finals of the 100 meters for the men category. And equally Linda this afternoon, Linda Ngamum Bomer that equally won the bronze medal in terms of the 400 meter for the women category. And that is a little bit of what has been transpiring in terms of the electives. But in general, Team Cameroon's medal tally, it's not encouraging at all because of the low rates of equally participation, fans still not going to the field. And mind you that 2 days back, the Minister of Sport and Physical Education, Nasemole Kombe, held a meeting to be able to strategize on how to bring the population to the stadium so that they can go and cheer up the Cameroonian athletes that are participating in the various disciplines. And let's talk about what transpired in Young Sports Academy. Before we come to Young Sport, let's equally talk on to who are those that are going to be playing the finals for the Northwest Regional League. After there was a little bit controversy between the game Option Sport, where a penalty that was given up for Options made the fans angry for the opponent who invaded the pitch, and the game was halted. But according to the new decision that has been taken by the Northwest Regional Bureau, it shows that Rainbow FC will play the finals of the Northwest Regional League Mini Interpost against Option Sports Academy. The dates definitely will be communicated to you. And equally, Young Sports Academy, a lot of controversies. At one point, seeing a communique where the club has been sold, and you find another communique coming back to say that they don't have anything related to the communique, saying that the club has been given over to another management. We're hoping that they get to settle down and give us the right information in terms of what is the fate of Young Sports Academy in terms of management. And that is it in terms of sports updates that we had for you today. And to not touch the dials, we will be right back to talk about the road to the finals of the Southwest Regional League Mini Interpost. It's exactly 21 years since Mark Vivian Fouet left Cameroonians in tears. We hope, saying that may his soul keep on resting in peace, and we pray that as the Baleba brings back his jersey number, maybe we are going to have a lot of memories to talk about, especially when it's today 21 years marks Vivian Fouet since he left the Cameroonian population after passing up into the green turf. And now straight away we are going to be talking on the South Regional League Mini Interpost, the road to the finals. Remember, we already have the 4 teams: Boya United, Fako United, Legend, and Best Stars, that are going to struggle, tossing hard tomorrow in terms of the 2 finalists that are going to go through the finals for this particular competition. Who among these 4 teams is going to pick up a qualification ticket to the next one? A question mark. And today we have 2 gentlemen that are going to be telling us a very captivating moment since it starts of the Mini Interpost, and equally who has a greater chance of picking up the qualification ticket to the National Interpost and being crowned champion of the 2023-2024 season. And you will want to contribute in terms of our topic of discussion today. The number is right on your screen: 650-34-7263, 650-34-7263. You can either give us a call or a text message, normal or on WhatsApp. And I'm going to commence by my left. It's a household name that is Boris Esono. Boris Esono, good evening and welcome to the program today.
Good evening to you, Sonita. Good evening to the listeners and good evening to the viewers. It's a pleasure to be with you today and to discuss what is happening in the world of sports.
And by my right, it's another fine brain analysis. I call him the grandfather of analysis in terms of football of any domain, be it local, international, and that's no other person than Jimmy Atike. You're welcome on board this evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sonita. Good evening to always good evening to the televiewers of the day.
Okay, I'm going to start. I remember you, Jimmy Atike. First of all, let's talk about Sunday's turnout and yesterday's turnout. What's your impression so far for the fans turnout for the Mini Interpost so far?
Yeah, it has been good. It reminds us of a revival of football in the country, where fans now fancy going to the pitches and watch beautiful football being played. Yeah, you can always think about the European game where fans were somehow in love with the European game, but now you can sit even in the stadium and watch a live European game while you're watching the local game. So technology has made it possible for that. So it was a revival, and the fact that the agenda by the local media to patronize the local championships has really helped the population to inform them about matches, to inform them about head-to-head stats, which was far from being a reality in the yesteryears. But today we can get facts about players, stats about clubs, that information, and that's what the fans needed. And so they had that confidence and went to the field to see beautiful football being played. A stadium despite 1,000 francs for gate takings, but the fans still break their odds to go into the stadium, and it has really been a revival. When we look at the yesteryears, you find that you stick to people who were witnesses of the 90s and maybe early 2000s. You see that the fans were even more than what we had this time around. So it gives us, and with the modern stadiums, then people had passion to count the Molicom Stadium to, despite the rains, at times you had to break the odds to come to the field. You were being beaten by rain and so forth, but you still watch games. Some are scaling the fence just to watch games. But now, like yesterday, the rain was falling, but we were comfortable at the level of the stands, watching the encounter. So as time goes on, football has evolved and is engaging to the fans, and with the media coming in to pump more energy. Yeah. So it's really encouraging, and we just continue to encourage the fans to come to the field to watch beautiful football being played in Cameroon. And the young talents are really proving that we have talents in the Southwest region, and why not Cameroon? We also saw our playoffs, national playoffs, both ups and downs. There was this turnout, and so it's really encouraging, and we just pray that it continues that way.
And definitely, we're praying that it continues that way. And over to you, Boris Asono. Can you see that after this mini interpose, you will definitely have some great moments to think about, especially in terms of the way fans have been displaying themselves?
Well, definitely, and I keep advocating for the National Interpol to come to Buea, because look at the population. Remember that journalists advocated for the National Interpol to come to the Southwest, and Limbe finally had it a couple of years back. If you see the population, you go to Brazil and other sports journalists out there, you look at the pictures, like Jamie said, it is full to capacity. You don't even have sometimes space to sit on the chairs. We have about 2,500 seats in the Moliko Sports Stadium. All were full, and you see fans actually standing, and they're actually taking the flair of the game. And I want to see the National Interpol in Buea, but we know the logistics might not be enough. We just have one stadium to host matches in Buea. It's not like Limbe, where we have the Ngeme, we have the Centenary, and we have Middle Farm. So there they can split the games into 3 different venues. With Buea, with just one facility, it's not possible to play the games consistently. Damages the field, and so on and so forth. So, but what the population have been displaying, it is a sign that if Buea had another facility, probably we would have hosted the National Interpol. Just take I always tell the fans out there, if you want to see beautiful things, come to the field. We might narrate you what is happening at the Moliko Sports Stadium, but when you are there, you take it in, you feel it, you see the ambience, and no, Buea is supporting football. Not just Buea, but the whole Southwest is in love as far as football is concerned. Look at what transpired in the game Legend against Siko United. The fans, the mascot of Legend FA, he was shirtless, but he had the colors of Legend FA, and he was equally in quote twerking in that particular. You cannot make this up. You just have to see it and you enjoy it for yourself. So Samba Boys fans, Samba Boys, the fans are always, or somebody are always there. They always come with the vibe. When you see the fans, Kelly LaForce is there, and every minute, like Victoria United, they cannot go without singing national anthem. And when they are singing the national anthem, I will take the reference of Italy. When Italy sings its national anthem, whether the players, football, handball, or what, the way they spit out their national anthem, it's like they're going to fight war. It's just like Australia in terms of rugby. When they are doing the rugby, New Zealand in rugby, when they're doing rugby, the first thing, if they are host, let's say England, France, they do the haka. And when they do the haka, it's like they're going for battle. And that's what we've been saying in the regional league. The fans, every decision that goes against them, you see them almost spitting fire on the referee, contesting every decision that is not in their favor. So I think for me, it's been a pleasure to really watch how the various fans have been turning out. From Fako United, who come in their traditional red, they have their scarf, they have their t-shirt. Almost all the fans are in the colors of Fako United. If they are not in the colors, they have the scarf, and so on and so forth. We have Buea United, who yesterday, the fans were one of the most vocal of the quarterfinal games. Even when the penalty was given, we saw what transpired in that particular game. Kumasi Football Club, they came with their own fans too, despite the fact that when they were defeated, the fans went low, the voice it's like you moved they sing it from their mouth. Maya Legend, I think the mascot of Legend actually caught my attention in this particular quarterfinal. So if I'm to vote the best fan club at the moment, definitely I'm leaning towards Legend FA. Fako United, they are there, and what catches my attention with Fako United is the type of song they sing. They don't sing these traditional songs that
CYF songs
that we know fans usually sing on the pitch, but they are very unique.
Definitely.
In the way they do their thing.
And at one point you see them as if they are training their voices and as if they are going for a competition that they have to give in their best to be able to satisfy the listeners. Seriously, if you are not coming to the Moliko Misport Stadium, trust me, you are definitely missing a lot.
We have to call on them to come again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because the semi-final continues, and these two heavyweights and two fan clubs definitely be clashing tomorrow. Fako United, in normal traditional attire, will be going up against Boya United. Remember, some of the fans of Fako United were actually supporting Boya United yesterday.
You can say that again.
It will be kind of
now tomorrow
conflicting.
People are going to divide themselves.
But I think it's going to be Moliko against Boya Town.
Let's see if the Moliko gangs have more energy.
Boya United
definitely
from Checkpoint. So very, very, very crucial encounters coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, we are going to definitely kind of like guess what is going to transpire in between that game. But first of all, let's talk about the games that transpired on Sunday. Remember, last week we were here to dissect, trying to predict what can transpire between Fako United and Al Jazeera. And from your various predictions, the majority of you people went on to saying that Al Jazeera was going to win. But unfortunately, it was the Njoku boys of Fako United that triumphed over Al Jazeera. First of all, Jimmy, I take care your general appraisal for that particular game. Did you see the Al Jazeera that you saw during the normal group stages?
Well, normally, clubs have their own way of doing things. They have their own perception about competitions. Before going for a competition, you already have your own objective. I think the objective was just to come in and play the mini interpos. That was the main objective of Al Jazeera, to sell their players and market them like Che Herbert and so forth. So, but they were a team which we should have looked up to see they could give the other guys a run for their money after leading their pool for close to about 60 days, and we knew things were going to be smooth for them. Looking at Fako United with the number of games they played, both sides, you understand that Fako United played lesser games than Al Jazeera, and so we knew that competition was in Al Jazeera, and they were from a group where they had competition, the likes of Sinodev, the likes of Option Sport, the likes of Bestas Academy. So those are clubs which have competition. We are fearless when it comes to the Southwest Regional Football. Likewise, Fako United only had the likes of Elexpo. Continental was a little bit too competitive, but you could not really see it as compared to what Al Jazeera saw with the likes of Bestas, Option Sport. So we knew coming to these quarterfinals they were going to give Fako United a run for their money, but it became a point where we saw a Fako United that was transformed. With the bulk of the season, Fako United was pushed by Fusa Eric and
Ebenezer.
So you understand that Bambo Moses already came in the last two games, and so he had to master the players and so forth. But kudos to him, because when we saw the Fako United play on that day, we saw a confident Fako United. We saw how the morphology, the free flow passes of the team had to move on. We saw how the Joko boys were like playing the Al Jazeera with so much confidence. Likewise, the Al Jazeera team, they were sluggish. They were not giving themselves in the game. They were not engaging into duels, and so that kept them much more vulnerable to the attack line of Fako United. We even saw even their man Che Herbert was pinned by the likes of John Efufa, who was the captain of Fako United on that day. And that was, I think, somehow experience on Fako United, because having a man like Efufa, who has played football at the highest level in this country, you expect him to have that composure, that hard focus in playing such competitions, because when you come to the playoffs, it's just one game. It's no longer 3 points. So I think that was the mistake which the players of Al Jazeera were like not really putting in front of them, because you played the entire season, you played 14 games in the season, and you come into the quarterfinals and you find yourself limping because you think maybe you are still in the regular season. But this time around, it's all about business. It's all about who has the mental strength. It's all about who has the determination to win. And Fako United, it was a shocker, 4-1 against Al Jazeera. I think it was a very excellent performance from their high standards. And kudos to Baul Moses and the fans. You know, we talk about the fans, the color. You look at Fako United, you start picturing it seems like Newcastle United, Liverpool, Borussia Dortmund. When they come with their scarf and their colors, you feel the atmosphere. That's telling you Europe in the southwest, somehow branding of their club. So that pushed them to that level, and the players know now they're focused. They know that one game to the finals, they can be crowned, they could become champions of the region.
And definitely, it was the Njoku boys who outsmarted Al Jazeera Sports Academy. And equally to reiterate that all the teams that qualified top into their various posts have all been eliminated. We're talking about Al Jazeera, talking about Lexport, talking about Tico United and Kumba City Football Club. Boys, what's your impression? Is it that they did not see it coming, or they thought that being the first to qualify into the mini interpost was going to be as a threat to their opponents? So what do you actually think went wrong?
Well, I think there are key things for this particular game for Al Jazeera. Remember, I for one I pictured Al Jazeera to win this particular game against Fako United. Like Jimmy said, Al Jazeera had a couple of games. They had more game times in their legs. They faced a very, very strong side in this particular competition. Remember, Best Stars has qualified. They qualified for the semi-finals. So they would have had two teams from the same pool qualify for the semi-final. To have played Best Stars Academy of Limbe, to have picked up a victory, to have played Senior Dev, picked up a victory, to have played Options, to have played Kamju, a very tough side that held Senior Dev. You would have expected Al Jazeera to be the favorite in this particular game against Fako United. To me, I think I saw two key things that actually went wrong. Coach Mbioke was very confident in his side last time we had a program. The goal, to me, really played on their psychology.
Yeah, the first early penalty.
4 minutes, there was a penalty that was given to Fako United, which to me, I'm still debating that particular penalty. You make the decision by yourself. If it was a penalty, fine and good. If you think it's not a penalty, then fine and good. But I think that penalty really disturbed the players, because after that penalty, after the goal was scored, I saw a totally different Al Jazeera side that I've seen in the group stage of this particular competition. So probably the penalty played on their psychology. Even Coach Mbioke was indicated after the game post-match interview, said the penalty really disturbed the players. He said the kids were young kids, and so when you give a penalty at the early minutes, how do you think the players will continue to play with the right psychology? So that was the first aspect that I really pictured probably was an issue for Al Jazeera. I think the second issue too, probably it's overconfidence also. Probably they knew that Fako United is going to be a small side, but I don't think that the coach really minimized its opening, because it was very clear when he spoke to us here that he takes it game by game. He doesn't look ahead. He looks at Fako United. And equally said he has pictured a couple of lapses that he intends to utilize for himself in that particular game against Fako United. So to me, it was maybe confidence overshadowed the players, because I watched them. They could not really put one or two passes together. First half, very disastrous first half. But the change in the second half. Excuse me. To me, if they had played the way they played in the second half, they would have had something in that particular game. Probably forced the game into penalty shootout. But take nothing away from Fako United. Fako United, to me, I think they have a set or goal, and that goal is going in their favor at the moment. They've been very terrific. Yes, we might blame the first penalty that went in, but after that, what happened? Fako United played well. Fako United played outstandingly in that particular game. The other three goals that they scored were all based on what they did in the game. So we might be looking at the fact that Al Jazeera didn't play well, but I think we also have to look at the fact that it was Fako United who probably wanted it more than Al Jazeera. And congratulations to Atube Tere scoring 2 goals in this particular game and taking his tally to about 6 or so goals in the championship this year. So it has been a terrific season for Al Jazeera to have qualified out of the group stages of Group A in a pool that had option, in a pool that had best stars, in a pool that had Kamjo. I think first of all they must congratulate themselves. And speaking with the president just after the game, what he was telling me, unfortunately, Sonita Nguni, is not something that is really good. I really want to see Al Jazeera next year. It's a side which has a lot of potential. Remember, a couple of clubs have been declared general for future. We don't want to lose another club again based on what has been happening in the Southwest region. So we really want to see Al Jazeera. Yes, we did not reach the semi-final, but I think next year is another year that you can continue your objective and see how to achieve those objectives. But congratulations to Fako United. I really want to see what these guys can do in the semi-final. I've been watching Fako United since this week. They've been training at one location. Bambo Moses, Fossa Eric, the assistant coach, continue to put these boys to their paces. I was happy with the performance of Simon Bolem Carlson. Had a good day. Remember, Carlson has been very, very prolific. Most of the time he has been on the bench in recent games for Fako United, but he was outstanding in the game against Al Jazeera. So I think all in all, to me, it was an A grade for Fako United because they approached the game with the right mentality. They did not look at Al Jazeera as a small side. They appreciated them, they respected them, but they knew that they had a potential to hit Al Jazeera in this particular game, and that's what they did. They utilized the midfield, they utilized their striking option, and that's why Atube Tere got 2 goals in that particular game. So I want to see what Al Jazeera can do in the next game, and I want to see equally what Fako United can do in the game tomorrow.
And definitely, the second game of the day was between Brestars and LX Sport. 2 Limbe Bay sides tussling each other, but unfortunately, it was a bad one for LX Sport as the academicians of Limbe triumphed over them. Holding, we're talking about holding first 45 minutes of play, ending on the 0-0 time, and seeing a different ball game in terms of the last segment of the game. Jamie Teke, did you see that coming from Brestars Academy?
Yeah, you see that like contrast between the 2 games. You understand that the Brestars team normally they had a strong mental strength, and Al Jazeera, looking at the contrast of the 2 games, because if you look at Brestars, they had, I think, 5 of their players had yellow cards in that particular game. That was already a way to demoralize the players, to bring down their morale. But the players still came out together and play as one family, one big unit with their peace. They have been together and give LS Sport run for their money. So there are times when you look at the mental strength, how mentally focused are you in a particular game. And I think LS Sports of Limbe, like Coach Njoko Banaba said, he said they were prepared for the game. But however, if you look at the LS Sports side, they were an aging side. Now, football nowadays is played with youth. You must have youth. You must approach the game with youthful legs. And if you look at from maybe 18 to maybe 26, 27, that should be your team. That should be an ideal team. Yes, you might add maybe 31, 32 to blend, but the majority should carry the youth, because football now is all about pace. And that is what Brestars used against the Sports of Limbe. They had to, you could see how they had the energy to run behind the players of LS Sports of Limbe. In the second half, we saw that the players of LS Sports were worn out. A player like Akotin Mokete, that's a player who is an age player. Remember him when he played for Livka in 2021. He was there with Ashu Breeze, where they had to lose to Brestars Academy. So coming again to face this same Brestars Academy with the same mentality of players, though different generation, it's the same morphology, the same ideology that has been inculcated in these players. Play as if you are playing with you are playing with passion, and the player had to the Brestars player has to approach the game with that positive nature. And we saw how the LS Sport players were worn out by the 70 minutes, and we always led to their own goal because of too much pressure on the defense. They had to score in their own net. So It's a best side which I look at Jofak as one of the best in terms of player development. He really masters that art because generation after generation he has produced good, credible players who can match up the strength of any team in this region, and that is what we need in the Southwest region. And LS Sports of Limbe is their first season. They topped their pool. They came powerfully strong last year or last season. We followed them in the FACO League, how they won it. But this is a different ball game. You met stronger opponents. You met opponents who experienced best stars. They are 3-time champions of the Southwest region, and so they are looking for their 4th title. So you can't come in just one season and you want to beat such a team like Best Stars Academy. Yes, they had a youthful team, but you must be looking at a situation whereby their experience, the gaffer, the person tutoring those young lads is an experienced gaffer who knows the Southwest region in and out. So that is where I think LS Sport failed. But next season is another season. They have to just keep their calm, re-strategize, and see how they can match up maybe one step closer to the semi-finals, and why not be ground champions. But kudos to Best Stars Academy. I really appreciate those young lads. A guy like Mafani and the Mokete, those guys are really
impressed a lot of persons.
They are really impressive. Their performance, I think they are the next big thing alongside Ayo Cosmas. Players we will start looking at after Courage, after Yonga,
Albert.
You look at such players moving out of Best Stars this football season.
And definitely, talking about players, the first person to relieve or give Best Stars an upper edge over that game was Mukete Jr., who currently stands with 17 goals in terms of this particular Southwest Regional League this season, and he is the highest and the highest. And Cosmas came behind equally to give him the winning goal for Best Stars Academy. To you, Boris Sono, which player from Best Stars impressed you during that game? Because we saw a lot of the attack line, even the midfield, struggling to want to create something by putting their team on ahead. But it was number 9 shed, that is Mukete Jr. and Cosmas, that gave in the 2 winning goals for their team.
Well, Best Stars is a team that plays collectively, despite the fact that 1 or 2 players will get the plaudits. This an all-round team, from the defense to the goalkeeper, Baba Haman, to the midfield, to the strikers, like you said. Definitely the 2 players up front were my standout players in this particular game. Yes, Mukete Jr., 17 goals, 16 years of age. He has a lot to give in the championship this year. He wants to go further as he can get. And I believe, to me, I'm not saying that it's going to be a final of Limbe against Boya, but it might just be. But there's another side of Kumba who I really want to see them reach this level, because it is their first time reaching the semi-final actually in the mini interpol. So I really have a split love, but I think Kumba might just have it. But we're not discussing the game tomorrow. We're looking at Best Stars. Best Stars, 2 key players. Ayuk Cosmas was my standout player in that particular game. The young guy continued to impress me year in, year out. Yes, after a couple of players left Best Stars Academy in the past couple of seasons, Ayuk Cosmas has been that player that's consistently been consistent in what he churns out every season. And to me, and like others will say, it is high time Jofak Saturnesa looks at an avenue to let this guy show his talent in a grander stage. The regional league, to me, this guy has passed that level. The quality he has at the moment, to me, is right for elite level, either the elite championship or a club out of the country. Because if you look at his performances, the last goal, how you entered the goal post of its opponent, and finally there was an own goal that was conceded. From the first minute, Ayuk Cosmas was almost everywhere. He was at the right flank. Jofak Satune did a switch. He went to the right flank, the left flank. So that's to tell you that this guy is a very multi-talented player who can play in the right wing, can play in the left wing, doesn't complain, puts his head down, gives 110% when Coach Jofak Satune wants him to get to 110%. So to me, I think Ayo Cosmas was the standout player in that particular game. Like you said, we equally had other person, Mokete Jr., who has been very, very outstanding at the moment in terms of his performance as far as the Regional Football Championship is concerned. And I was quite surprised equally because if you listen to the performances, you listen to what people have been saying about LX Sport, it will tell you that LX Sport is the Real Madrid of championship this year. They had been undefeated. They headed into this particular game with the senior players, quality players, but very, very senior. And I think as what Jimmy mentioned, Bessers has young players. They are very tactful. They can play from now till tomorrow. Sometimes they might be tired, but they will be still very fresh than what we saw about LX Sport. I was quite surprised as to the level at which LX Sport played that particular game. They really didn't impress me in that particular game.
They were lost.
I expected a better LX Sport because, like Jimmy said, we watched them in the Faco Divisional League before they gained promotion. Remember, they won the Faco Divisional League. They played against Kamjo in the final, and they dismantled Kamjo in the final. And when you see the quality that LX Sport had in the Faco Divisional League, the same quality that they brought in, and they recruited one of the best managers in the football in the Southwest region, Konjoku Barnabas, who came out and said he did not recognize his boys. And for a coach to tell you that he did not recognize his boys, it means something went wrong in that particular game.
It's like the coach of Cotton Sport who said that he's afraid of his players, he's not afraid of the opponents.
Yeah, so Joko Barnabas said they probably over-prepared for the game because what they prepared is not what you saw in the pitch. So I think the players really need to go back and do a retrospect, go and evaluate themselves. Did we actually achieve what we wanted to achieve? Because to me, I think LX Sport wanted to reach the National Interpol. I might be wrong, but I think that was their objective this year, to reach the National Interpol, and they're falling short on that. Probably they just have to go back, do a rethink, what went wrong, what went right, do a melange, sell a couple of old players, bring young players, because sometimes you need those young players. The young bloods, their blood is still hot. Take, for example, what happens with Boya United. Motabazi at extra time, around 29 minutes of extra time, the guy was still playing like he was still the first minute. He was still running up and down. That tells you that you need sometimes these young players because they have a lot of energy, and that's what LX Sport lacked. And for the fact that the president was watching this particular game, his first time watching the game, it was really a disappointment for LX Sport.
They are going to go back to the drawing board as next year is soon coming. And equally, it was a very interesting game. Tico United, who started the game against Legend on a good foot, scoring the first goal of that particular game, but unfortunately, an own goal came in to level up the game on a 1-1 on time. And the second segment of the game saw an invisible side of Tico United. Will you buy that idea, Jimmy Atike?
No. Well, I think Tico United normally yesterday, they always have a problem when it comes to, ever since they descended into the regional championship, that was 2016, they really find their feet in Southwest football. Yes, they've been a team, even at the level of the Cameroon Cup. It has been difficult for Tico United to represent this region in any competition since that demise of their relegation, since that relegation to the regional championship. So it was again another season of Tico United which had reached the crucial end of the season and they had to fail. We saw a Tico United side, yes, they had promising they played promising football, but this year they look today they will play well, tomorrow they will not play well. Like what happened to a team like Talented Football Academy should not take 4 points from Tico United, but they had to take 4 points. So they were a team that I didn't see them as a team that will go all the way to become Southwest champions because of the way they play. Yes, they have a good manager, Icy Lucas. He's a good manager. They brought in some good legs. But the team itself, when you look at them, I don't know whether that management problem is what is really affecting the performance of this player. I don't really know. Because year in, year out, they've been coming with huge ambition, huge quality
Pressure,
of players, but going into these crucial moments, like the mini Interpol's knockout, it has been a problem. 3 seasons ago, they qualified, which was a round-robin tournament. We saw that majority of the time, Tico United came late in 2021 when they had the round-robin tournament, the last era of Mulungu Thomas. They had 2 pools. We thought that they could get maximum points to reach the final, but they failed, and Livka had to take or top that particular group. The last season, Istanbul shocked them at the quarterfinal. So you look at Tico United, I don't know whether it's management problem or it's these are the players do not want to play at one point in time. But yesterday the players too also were sluggish. At one point in time they contributed to their defeat because if they had the determination, the character,
the fighting spirit,
they should have defeated Legend Football Academy. But likewise, Legend Football Academy, they came with that confidence that they had already qualified for the Cup of Cameroon round of 32 finals. That gave them that confidence that hey, they can stop any team. They had played against Isosa. So what was Tico United? So that was their mentality. And the way they were playing, they played without no fear. They constructed the passes, they gave good dead balls. And at one point in time, look at even their own goal. Though Tico scored first, but the players of Legend never backed up. They still went forward and went further and caused damage for Tico United. And we saw it, though the fans were a little bit maybe angry based on
some decisions
and so forth, some decisions. But they looked at the game in its entirety. They saw that their players were second best.
Definitely.
Yes, you have to look at it from that angle because that moment already gives us a reason to say Tico was second best. If you look at the game United against Kumba City, you see that decisions went somehow against United, but they still kept their focus.
Fighting,
So that's how you do it. That's the same thing in the other game, Al Jazeera, Fako United, Bestas, Elespo. You must be able to, you don't look at decisions. Decisions will not affect you. If you want to play football, you play football. You don't wait for a decision to go against you, then you start messing up yourself. No. You must be able to always be focused. And that is what killed Tico United. They knew maybe the players were thinking that maybe their fans will come in, like what happened in the normal championship, where their fans had to engage at one point in time to obstruct play.
Penalty,
but this time around, their fans were cautious. They say, you guys didn't really live up to expectations. And so that's what I think Tico United, maybe it's management, I don't know, that's affecting because they say what affects the performance in the pitch is what happens off the pitch. So I don't know whether they had their internal squabbles which has affected the players' performance. But I think Legend, you can't take anything from them. They showed good football. This is a team that, yes, they've been playing all their matches in Kumba. I think these teams in Kumba, we should give them applause because these are teams which they don't have that opportunity to play
in good pitches,
but they play in their normal muddy pitches. We saw how when Southwest Football went to Kumba and broadcasted matches, we saw the pitch. It was so poor. You can't market anything from that particular pitch. But these are guys who they keep they come in and they don't care whether you are who. They come to any pitch that they play. Legend came to the Moliko Stadium. They defeated Talented and went to the Cup of Cameroon. They've come again, defeated Tico United at the Moliko Stadium. That's a stadium they won't play in that stadium, but they came in and shocked the entire Southwest region. So it's all about the mentality, the mental strength, how you as a player you prepare a game. Is the game important to you? That's the first question, because the coach has his own role to give you the tactics. Go out there and play the 4-3 system. Go out there and play like this. Play with 4 defense or 3 defense. But you, the player, you must be able to look at your career, look at yourself. Where am I heading to? What do I want? I think that is where the players are failing, because the players to me were so sluggish.
Yeah,
you wouldn't blame the coach. I know IC Lucas so well. He qualified Bobo for the Interpol.
Correctly.
So if he can come to Tico United and doesn't succeed, then it's somehow maybe the players too
contributed to it.
Because it was really disheartening that Tico United should lose against Legend Football Academy.
It was Legend that actually went through despite several ambitions, pressure from Tico United. But now, over to you, Boris Asolo. We saw a different side of the Mountain Boys against the king of the Memepol, which is a Kumba City Football Club. Despite a penalty that was very controversial according to many persons, the boys of Coach Alabas did not give in their guts. What can you say you actually admired about the game for yesterday, Kumba City and the Buea United?
So anytime I'm going to look at the players of Buea United at the end of the game when Buea United finally won 3-2, we had Mota Bazi, his jersey was almost very dirty. We had Collins Luma Mani, it's like he had just come from the farm. We had Captain Elad Boris equally. We had
the goalkeeper himself.
He was limping at the end. He told you something. That these guys are just from a battle.
Definitely.
And the battle was not an easy one. And it wasn't an easy one because we are taking on a side that defeated you last year 2-1.
Correctly.
We are taking on a side that won Pool D of the championship. They have consistently won Pool D for the last 3 years. We are taking on a Kumba City side that had the ambition to reach the national interpol. So a lot was at stake. We are taking on a side knowing that you have never reached the semi-final. A lot was at stake for Buea United in this particular game. Yes, you talk about a controversial penalty. Many are saying it was a penalty, others are saying it was not a penalty. So people have the opportunity to make the decision by themselves depending on where you stand in the spectrum of activity. So you be the judge of whether it was a penalty or whether it was not a penalty. But I think the game for Buea United was a testament of the level in which Buea United has come, how far they've come with Coach Emmanuel Agbo, aka Alabas. Remember, surprisingly, what some people don't even know is that before the start of the championship, a couple of fans, Sunita, actually wanted Emmanuel Agbo to leave the club.
Correctly, it was like a rumor.
Surprisingly, no, it wasn't a rumor, it was fact. A couple of fans actually wanted Coach Alabas to step down so another person can come in as far as the coaching department is concerned. But this is where Alabas has taken the club to. The first time that Buea United is reaching the semi-final of the Southwest Mini Interpol since ever. And I like what Coach Alabas said. He was a very emotional man.
He cried. His eyes were all red.
You need to be at the field. Sometimes when we are discussing these things in the chamber, you have to be in the field to see the emotion that is coming up. Or if you're not in the field, tune to Southwest Sport Cameroon and you watch the emotion. Coach Emmanuel Alabas was actually very emotional in this particular game. Countless times that decisions were not going in his favor. You could actually see his expression in the film. Even when his players were taking silly yellow cards, you saw his emotion. You left his touchline when he was like,
what am I going to do?
Something you can just narrate like, why are these guys doing this to me? I've told the guys to play it fast and they're giving us yellow cards. And remember, they're going to be without Festus Njako, one of the top goal scorers for Buea United this season. He had a yellow card in the field. What happened? Celebration mood. He took another yellow card. And he had a red card in that particular game. So that's somebody that they're going to miss because he's one of the key players up front for Buea United. Despite the fact that they don't score a lot, but Festus Njako is one of the players that are very key for the side. Collins Mani equally is very much an outstanding player. Collins Mani, if you want to look at Collins Mani and Mota Bazi, these guys, sometimes you see them at the defense, you see them in midfield, you see them in up front. They are multi-talented, and those are the two key players for Buea United. Like I said, you just have to look at their jersey at the end of this particular game to see the battle which they won against Kumba City Football Club. And I was actually equally disappointed with the performance of Kumba City Football Club, because if you watch the players last year and this year, it's totally different. I don't know, probably something happened with Kumba City Football Club before this particular game, because the way they played the game wasn't really the best to me. Like Alex Sport, they equally have to go back, do a recalculation, look at what actually went right and what actually went wrong in their season, evaluate it, and ask themselves, what do they want? Do they want to be like Isusa? Do they want to be like Victoria United to reach the elite level? And what needs to be done? Like what we're saying with the Lex Sport, you cannot have all players everywhere in your team. It's not going to be possible. You have to do a blend of some of the young players, and that's what Kumasi Football Club needs. But congratulations to Boya United. Coach Emmanuel Alaba said, I'm going to frame this, the team. I'm going to frame the team. That's a picture. He's going to take a picture of the team, frame it, put it in his house, put it in his office. Because what they've done, and he has created history. Even if he leaves now, and he said, I don't care when I reach the final again. He has reached the level that he wanted to reach with Boya United. For 5 years or more, these players have been there. From the under 17 level, he was using them, some of them in the senior team, and so on and so forth. But congratulations to the side, and I really want to see what they will do in the semi-final. Yeah,
I think again, there's a message to be taken, because normally you look at these teams, talking of Kumasi, Lex Sport. In football development or sports development, you test, you have to align your project, because you're not an academy. Correct. An academy always, yes, Joe Fabi will tell you he has a project for 5 years to groom a different generation of players. But now you as a club who has an ambition to maybe go places like winning the championship, going to Interpose, League 2, you must be able to get good projects for yourself. That's what killed Lifka. Lifka had a good resources, but they never had those management and you can't build football behind other things. If you want to take football as a passion, take football as a passion. Now, what Kumasi is going through is what Lifka went through. Lifka went through the same issue where there's no solid foundation for Kumasi. Yes, they've not lost their 2 previous semi-finals, and they've never, 2 quarter-final matches in the last 2 seasons. But this is a season that shows clearly. They've had 3 different coaches. Now, look at Alabas. They had faith in Alabas. He came in 2019. He succeeded Enan Sigari when Boya United was almost crumbling. But he came in. He couldn't qualify for the Interpose in 2019. He came in when the season was cancelled in 1920 seasons. There was still a blend of youth and old. The likes of President Kaji gave him that applause and take this team, groom your players. He even told us at the Town Green that he's working on a project. Okay. Now, this is the project now winning the smiles of most fans. So I believe that if you have a good project, if you have a project, maybe 3-4 years, you are going for the first year not to go and win, to go and test the waters. I think that should have been the first objective of the Lex Sport of Limbe. Go and test the waters and see how it tastes. Now they have tested the waters. Next year they should be looking forward to maybe playing the Cup of Cameroon. That should be their next level. Maybe represent the region at the second final. Now when you test that level, you are knowing that okay, you don't have a strength to maybe go one step to the Interpose, you represent the region at the Cup of Cameroon. Then in next season, you are going for the Interpose and probably Elite 2. That should be a plan of action. So that you see if there's progress. You get somebody who can actually deliver you within those 3-4 years. That's how you do sports development. It's not all about you want it today. You cannot come from, though yes, Lex Sport is an age side when it comes to what you call the mythical clubs in the southwest region. But they have been out for over 20 years. But you can't just come in and say you want to do things. Football has changed, football has evolved. It's no longer the aged people that play football in the 60s. It's all about the youthful, the young legs who play. That's what also killed Kumasi. Because if you look at Kumasi, they also have the same age players. Abine was there last year. Most of other players were there last year. But now we've changed the system and bring in another person. He comes in and brings his own idea. And that's what killed them. For the first time, I saw Kumasi who could not play beautiful football, who could not be determined to go out there. I don't know what really came over them. So they have to sit back, get good managers who can actually draw up a project for them. If the Lord Mayor wants Kumba City to be a team
to talk about,
they have to get good projects. Look at Manchester City. That's how they started. They have the money, but get good managers. You might have the resources, but good. See, if Lifka had good managers, with the death of or the passing away of their founding father, that club would have continued. Even at the level where they were relegated, they should have come to the divisional league and continued because it had a foundation. But because they had just one man and who depends solely on whatever, as long as he was away, the club had to go down. So we should learn from these mistakes and see how we can correct them. Football now is all about projects. You must outline projects. Look at Cano. Yes, they have been able to win a title, but they are showing progress.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You don't just come in one morning and you say you want to win a title. You must be able to get the rightful managers. I bet you if Akko United go the way they are going, there will be a brand new Cameroon football in the years because they have already shown their identity. Red and white. You see everywhere. You see red and white in the southwest region. You know it's Akko United. That's their identity. A club like Kumba City, what's their color?
Blue and white.
You can't really see the fans.
They have the blue and white.
Like the scarf, the jerseys, merchandising. Those are projects that you put in for
I think we saw something yesterday. They came with the umbrellas, blue and white, t-shirts, blue and white.
These are things when you do things. You don't just do things because you have reached a particular stage of competition.
Yeah, you start producing those things.
You do it because you had a passion.
Anyway, we were not in in Meme to be able to determine. No, I want us to speak realities. We were not in Meme to see if it was actually ongoing, if you could see people with the white and blue t-shirts for Kumba City.
Let's be frank when we are discussing this particular thing because it's important that we take into consideration what the fans actually do. See how Fakko United came in. They came in with their mufflers, the shirts. Look at the fans of Kumba City Club. Can you actually tell me that you knew the fan if they were not dancing? I'm coming to the point. I'm coming to the point.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah, the point is this. We are not in Kumba or Meme to know whether they were selling or not. That's not our issue yet. The issue is this. If you as a club, we keep talking about merchandise, sell so that the fans who are coming
can buy
in the attire, aside from the dance group that we know,
they identify themselves,
the paints and everything. Aside from those fans, I could not actually tell. I knew a couple of the communication officer of Kumba City Football Club and a handful of personalities who had the white. Can actually see Kumba City Football Club, the fan.
The umbrella.
Aside from that, you couldn't really picture a fan of Kumba City Football Club. Look at Samba. Samba came with
yellow and blue.
Boy United is still trying to go into that. A couple of boys in blue and white, but you could see them. But I think merchandise is something which most of the clubs are really, really lacking and taking less action in that. And Kumba City Football Club, they came with those things, the umbrellas, like you say, and the t-shirt, and good for them. They were selling it. Like what Isusa were doing, they come with it in the field to sell. Like Victor United equally, they come with it in the field to sell, which is good equally because it gets money to the club. You might sell 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah, it can do something, but cannot really get you that much that you need as far as the club is concerned. So I think these clubs, they have the base. Kumba City Football Club has the base. Why? They are a club run by the Kumba City Football Council. They have shops that is run by Kumba City Council, sorry. They can take some of these things and put in the shop and sell. So it is not all about coming to the field and sell. Most people will not buy in the field. I'm not saying that people will not buy, please don't get me wrong. People will buy. But after this game, where we see the guys again to buy or the fans to buy, you will never see them. But when they know where they can go and get those things, maybe the club, the mufflers, the caps, remember Fakko United has a shop. And every day they'll tell you, go to Fakko United shop, you want to get the jersey, you want to get something from the club. So those are things that the clubs are really minimizing. And we hope, because remember, subvention don't come all the time. And sometimes clubs here in the region are complaining that they don't receive money from here only. But there are certain avenues that they can go around, market themselves, go into sponsorship, see what is happening with Fakko United.
Fako United is driven to the field, not by their pocket. Sunita, it's not by their pocket. Yeah, I didn't want to call the name for branding purposes. I see the perspective, but you said it all. So, it is a club that is looking at the future. Yes, they don't have the boss now to transport. Can we go into partnership with one of these companies that, okay, ferry me to the field, we're going to brand you, we're going to spotlight you as marketing. It's an advert. Go to the page of Fako United on Facebook.
Yeah,
they're advertising the company.
Yes.
So those are win-win strategies for club. Or give me a boss, I'll fuel it.
Yes,
those
that's
are win-win partnership. But yet our clubs sometimes you see the way they are going to the field. It's like
Keke.
one market. So those are things that clubs who want to go further, who have that idea. Do you think that if Fako United qualifies now to Elite 2,
transportation is not.
They will not have that sponsorship of Fako.
That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be a problem. Yes.
So, see what happened with the national team. This is the company that was hired. By
Yes,
the government.
same with Sango.
So these are things that the clubs really need to look at. If you think that you cannot sustain yourself, go into partnership. Look for somebody who has the money, and what can you give that person? Negotiate, and you get it done. Because, like I said, Sonita, the way some of these players come out from like some come out from taxes.
If we have
Elesport came to the Moliko Sports Stadium with, I think it was a 70.
Yes, a Mahogan 70.
So those are partnership. Besta has his own boss, that is normal.
Yes,
Option has his own boss, that is normal. But how many of the clubs again have?
And sometimes you have teams equally that you have teams like the Tokyo football school. They have he has his and he normally even used to give some of these buses out for rentage, but our clubs still don't go for it at a cheaper price. But when it's a game day, you go and see them coming out from keke or taxis. The one is coming back from bikes.
Tell you that they don't have the money.
Anyway, if we have to keep talking about this means of transportation, I'm not sure we are going to end the program today. Tomorrow it's another day. Tomorrow it's going to be a local debut at exactly 1:30 p.m. at the Moliko Ome Sports Stadium. And it's going to be the Njoku Boys of Fako United and the Mountain Boys of Boya United. Two Boya teams clashing each other. Jamie Teke, what are you envisaging in terms of this particular game?
Well, I think normally we talk about Njoku, we talk about the elephants. Is the mountain going to erupt to kill the elephants in the mountain, or will the elephants do the Malay kind of sacrifice to emerge victorious? Well, it's all about a local derby, and the two teams they know each other so well. They have quality players, have quality managers. Going to Boro, yes. They recently met in the Cup of Cameroon, and Fako had to go through it after post-match penalties. Last year they had a win and a draw against Boya United, but this time it's all about the Mini Interpos, one game to the finals. Who wants it more? The Boya population. We've never seen two Boya teams ever for close to about more than a decade play in a derby in the semi-finals of the Mini Interpos. We've never seen that, and so for the first time we're going to see a team from this particular part of the region qualifying for the finals since Mount Cameroon played Victoria United in 2018. We've never seen that, so it's really a history-making event for both teams. Now, coming to the players, you understand, with Mani, with the likes of Bright for Fako United, the likes of Johnny, those are experienced lads who come in to play. Two coaches who know the Southwest region so well. Alaba, since 2019, he has been there struggling to see how he can blend something. But Fako United, created in 2021, won the championship in 2022. Last year they missed out. So this time around, they'll be looking at themselves and say, okay, let's go out there and see how we can maybe go a step closer. Last year we missed out based on point difference and discipline or indiscipline. But this time around, you see that Boya United, we should not underrate them, because they too are coming with that confidence. Yeah, after that victory over Kumba City, they had to look at themselves, forget about what Alaba said. It was out of emotions, because if you see his boy, if you can see his boys play the same way they played against Kumba City, then you will say, let me go to the finals. But those are words where you play mind's game. But coming to the game proper, the players know that they are fighting for their careers, they are fighting for their future, and they are still young. They can still go to elite, they can still play football. They have more time to play football.
Prediction for that particular game.
But likewise, Fako United, yes, they have an experienced manager too, who has also been almost everywhere. He has been with Livka, he has been with Dynamic, he knows the Southwest region, he has qualified teams for the Interpos and the Elite too. So having such a weight of a manager coming to coach Fako United with the brand of football I saw he has instilled in the players in just 2 games in charge, after Fusa Eric had 2 games in charge, it tells you of a team that will be focused tomorrow to play beautiful football, and the fans do have to play their part in that game. Both set of fans, like we said, Boya Town, Moliko, in the past years we used to hear of Prisons, Mount Cameroon, but now you see Boya, the North coming down to South to play a game. So it's really going to be mouth-watering encounter, and let the better team win. I won't go for anything for now, but I think let the better team win.
And definitely, over to you, Legend Bestars prediction, boys and so.
Well, looking at what Bestars played, Bestars definitely is the favorite into this particular game, but take nothing away from Legend FA. Legend, the first time qualifying for the Mini Interpol, the first time they are reaching the semi-final, they want to continue the history making, which the side has had so far. So definitely sliding towards Bestars, but don't be surprised that Legend might just create an upset in this particular game.
Remember equally that Boya United and Legend they did not have enough resting time against the game of tomorrow, unlike Fako United and Bestars equally. But like the earlier said, we are not going to take anything from the both side, because we are still going to watch another finals like what we watched yesterday against Kumba City and Boya United. To you, who is going to win? Is it Bestars that is going to triumph over Legend, or is it Boya United that is going to walk through the Njoku boys? Only after 1:30 p.m. and 3:30 p.m. at the Moliko May Sports Stadium, and we're going to have a conclusion to this particular games. Remember, it is just 1,000 fans for you to come and entice your eyes with beautiful football made in the Southwest region, precisely for the Mini Interpos that is on good. You wouldn't want to miss any of these interesting games that will be coming up tomorrow, Thursday, at the Moliko May Sports Stadium. Call your brother, call your sister. It is going to be Boya United, Fako United, Bestars and Legend that are going to be playing. And yes, it's with this particular reminder of tomorrow's game at the Moliko May Sports Stadium that we get to draw the curtains of High Sport to the Wednesday. And mind you that Friday equally we will be here to talk about the road to the finals, to tell you the 2 teams that qualified to the finals and who among those 2 teams is going to be the champion and the representative for the Southwest region into the National Interpos that is coming up in the month of July. Pick up the rendezvous with me, Sonita Ngunyi, on Friday at exactly 3 p.m. Bye-bye and have a lovely evening.